Hey guys, Amy and Loie here with your playful experiment for the week. This week, your playful experiment is say what you don't want the other person to know right now. All right, you are going to be in that moment with your person. And in that moment, what is the thing that you would least want them to know about you right now, here in this moment? And this is really about you getting in there to your levels of guardedness and maybe like embarrassment or your layers of like discomfort, and like breathing into it and saying, okay, bravery, here I go. Like we're cracking this shell, this little armored guardedness that I usually do, this thing where I like pretend that I'm not a super flawed human being, or this thing where I just like, don't want the other person to know this because it makes me feel vulnerable. And I'm going to go right into that and get vulnerable, crack it open, and here it is. Like, this is the thing that I don't want you to know about me right now. I had somebody mistake this as like, say something like mean about the other person that you wouldn't want to really say in real life. Nah, that was not exactly what we're doing. This is totally about you, right? So it's not like, I think your shirt is ugly, I mean, that is something that you may not want them to know right now. I'm not talking to you. I can totally see Loie like, my shirt. But and I'm not, it's like, sure, that is something that you don't want them to know right now. Maybe. But is it something about you that you don't want them to know right now? I mean, we could get twisted and be like, well, it is my opinion about their shirt. Like, okay, but, try something that actually puts you on the spot. I mean, there might be some element to that. Like, I really don't want to be on this call right now. Like, I was really stressed about being here. And so it might have a little bit of nervousness to do with like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, that wasn't about you. But like, but it was like, so it might have a little to do with that edginess of like, whoa, will this hurt their feelings? But really, mostly it should be about the edginess of like, I'm pulling out something that makes me feel like, that high sensation of like, I don't want anybody to know this right now. And I'm going to like be that vulnerable and say it. So it might be like, I was just crying 2 seconds before I got on this call, and I kind of don't want you to know. That is the thing that I find myself, because like, drop into the moment. Each moment will be different. Don't pre-plan it, clearly. If you find yourself on that call trying to like sit up straight and open your eyes and like look like you weren't just crying, that's the thing. Like, okay, clearly right now what I'm doing is trying to not have you know that I was just crying. So I'm saying like, hey, I was just crying. The thing that I don't want you to know right now is that I was just crying. And you can say why if you guys feel like you want to get into that. Absolutely. Or you could just drop it there and continue on with the other things that you don't want them to know and scroll through those. And it'll be up to the person sharing to say. And the other person can, say like, I would like to know, or, but it's still up to them to sort of say. So, or it could be other things. You could kind of tap around at all the things before you get to something really juicy, like I just cried. It might not be that thing that's like on the tip of your tongue. It might be like, I just ate a whole cake by myself, or like I wasn't supposed to eat the last piece of cake, but I just did, or, the thing, like I said before, I don't want to be on this call. I'm really stressed about this, or, it could be like, I have been in a deep state of anger for like 2 days straight, and I don't even know why. Or I do know why. I like am so ticked at this person in my life, and something that feels like I'm going to try to smile on this call and not be in a deep state of anger. Oh, that tells me that I need to admit that is the thing that I don't want anybody to know right now. So what you got?
I'm actually pretty irritated with myself because all of the things that come to my mind are like not deep things. Like, it's like, I have to pee right now. And I wanted to think of something that was more like a serious thought, not just I have to pee.
Yeah, see, that's perfect because that's obviously what her energy was on. Like, what she doesn't want you to know is all this irritation, you know, that she doesn't actually feel like what she's about to say is good enough or something like that. But the I have to pee is legit too. I was going to give the I have to fart as an example, you know, even though I don't, but that's a really good one. You know, something like that like throws you off. It's especially easy to do this with people that you don't know well, you know, because there's a lot of things when it's like a new encounter where you're just kind of keeping it. Okay, what I don't want you to know right now is that I'm trying to ignore a dog like making a nest right next to me.
A nest.
I mean, do you hear it? It's like he's trying to make a full-on nest. Okay? But yeah, so anyway, just push his butt to the ground and he will stop. Yeah, whatever. When you are just encountering someone, there's all kinds of things that you kind of are just holding. You're just holding. Even if you're not trying to be like a fake or false person, or you don't even think that there's any like big deal about letting them get to know you, you still just hold it. You know, you sort of still hold a good number of things and until they come out more naturally. But we're sort of tripping that natural process by saying like, aha, that exact thing that comes to you first that you're trying to like hold in or that your energy is going to, but that you wouldn't tell them. You are going to do that as our way to sort of fast forward and jump in to each other's like vulnerability a little faster. And like I said, it's up to the person sharing. The other person just enjoys because it's this really enjoyable human show. Like, welcome to the human show where we are all so human, you know, and all of this is actually happening inside of us all the time at every moment. And this person is going to be so brave that they're going to actually let you in for a sneak peek into the human show. And, you know, you get to hear what's going on that they don't want to tell you or that they don't want you to know right now. What is that thing that you're trying not to let them know? See how it goes. Enjoy kind of getting to know each other in this almost fast-forwarded way.